Welcome back to 18 News Time once again for a weekly visit to the Dubois County Humane Society. We're not going to be on camera today because it's what Zach is showing is what we're going to is kind of our show today.
Yep.
And that is, of course, Donna, by the way, is with us as always, Donna Hopkins. And Donna, we're going to display some of the some of the pens out here and whatnot, and let you go ahead and explain some of it.
Right. I want to give a big shout out to the Humane Society's personnel who are volunteers who help our animals. And we want to show you our facilities, and that's what this is about. As you see, we have three large gated areas right here where our dogs get to come out, and we rotate them through on a daily basis so that they get some outdoor running and activity and socialization. One of the pens has 2 dogs in it. One of the pens has 1 dog, and the other one has 1 dog. And what's interesting is our staff learn the personalities of each dog to see who they're good with and who they're not so good with. It's kind of like a playground at the elementary schools. Some kids get along well with others and others don't, and they just learn to stay away from each other, or the teacher keeps them away from each other. And that's what we do here. We find out who is a good mix and let them come out and play and have a good time. And if they're not a good mix, we still let them get outside and enjoy Mother Nature at its finest. And as we have right here, I don't have the dogs' names, and I do apologize for that, but the brindle one, he doesn't care for the Malamute mix. He's, for whatever reason, he's trying to pick a fight, and the Malamute has shown his teeth a couple of times, then he walks off. And that is part of the socialization that we want to expose all of our animals to, is the brindle right here. See, look at him smiling at us, and he thinks life is grand, but he does not care for that dog. Nothing personal against that dog. He just doesn't like him. So we've learned how to keep them separated and yet still get to enjoy Mother Nature. That was one thing that I wanted to share with you, Carey. You've talked about this, how Mother Nature's been very good, very warm for the last several days, but suddenly she's got to turn and realize it's fall in Indiana. She's got to drop her temperature. So the dogs love the cooler temperature as well. If you notice, most of the dogs are staying where it's shaded, and that's one thing that we've talked about on the TV show, is when you do have your dog outside, make sure there's a shaded area that they can go to. As you see, we have a tarp that they can get under if the sun is not shining properly, where this tree can give the shade. But as you see, that's just animal behavior. They like being outside in the outdoors. They'll go out and run in the sun, but like any of us, we also like the shade and the protection that it gives. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, the shade and so forth, you got like things such as the tarp right over here in front of us, and of course the trees itself too, but needless to say, it's the comfort of the animals that's most important.
That's crucial. That's what everything is about. As you notice, we have very high fences. They are 8 and 9 feet high fences. When you try to adopt from Dubois County Humane Society and you say it's going to be an indoor-outdoor dog, that's the very first question we're going to ask you. Do you have a fence? Because number one, we don't want the dog you adopt to become a stray again. So many of our dogs are strays, and strays are runners. And once that gets into their system, it's very hard to break until several weeks, months, maybe even a year or 2 later, they learn this is my property and I won't go any further. So having them outside, letting them learn there are boundaries, physical boundaries that they cannot cross. They don't try anymore. They don't try to attack the fence and get out. That's what they'll do when you adopt from them. When you adopt from us, is we've already exposed them to this kind of a thing. We have it high because some of our little darlings are gymnasts and they can jump mighty high, and we've watched them, and it's just crazy to watch how funny they can be. The mix, the Siberian mix or the Husky mix, is having a good time. This weather's got him charged up and he's enjoying it. Now they're going to face off.
It's showdown. Showtime.
Yep, ding ding ding, everybody back to their corners. And see, they're going to go at each other, but the fence is going to protect each one of them, and they're going to stand their ground. I'm guessing the brindle was recently neutered, so he still has some testosterone flowing in those veins, and he's going to show who's boss. The Malamute or the Husky or whatever mix he is, he's been neutered a little bit longer, and he's kind of like, no big deal, I'm walking off. Anyway, the reason of this is we just want to show you how you can set up a good place at your home, having the swimming pool. If the dog gets hot, they can get into that, get cool. Make sure there's plenty of shade, make sure there's water and protection, and boundaries to keep them at your home so they'll be good pets for you forever.
Okay, any programs or anything you want to go over real quick?
We do. Once again, we're huge on you got to spay and neuter your animals and get them microchipped. So our next spay and neuter transports are November 5th and 19th, and then again December 3 and 17. And microchips are every Thursday from 3 to 6 p.m., and that's $10 to get your cat or your dog microchipped. And then we get that set up with the National Pet Sense that will then get that together, and no matter where you take your dog, you go out to Wyoming and your dog gets separated, they will match your dog back up with you. And then we have a couple of requests. Kittens, Lord, the kittens just cats keep procreating, so we are in need of kitten chow and we're in need of clumping cat litter. We have lots of non-clumping, but we need the clumping cat litter. So if you're out and about and you want to drop some off, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Okay, great. So information on the animals available for adoption here at the Dubois County Humane Society is available on their Facebook page and, of course, their website, DuboisCountyHumane.org. Thanks a lot for joining us this week again, Donna. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Weather's next.